In Tulsa. We're jumping right into another one. I'm Corbin Hosler. This is Jared Cole. We showed you the uncapped side of the bracket in our last game as we watched several of the defending champions on Unicorn take down the game. Moving back around here to the Platinum Cap side, we have Team ReZolve, TRZ, against Team Snek over on the other side. And Snek has been sort of a mainstay of the Gold Cap, Plat-Capped scene over the past year and a half here in Oklahoma League of Legends. So looking forward to seeing what we get here. Of course, we saw TRZ play really a nail-biter 46-minute game against the defending champions United.
It looks like they're still worried about the Kog'Maw that took them down that game.
I mean, think about it. You don't want the if the other team, if Snek sees how bad that Kog'Maw wrecked you, you don't want him picking it up. So, Gangplank Yasuo, just generic bans right there. You think? You think those are targeted?
Yasuo is an odd ban. It's probably targeted. Gangplank is more blanket.
Yeah. And in fact, if I actually recall correctly, Echoed Voice is extremely good on Yasuo. So I think that is very likely a targeted ban right there. Meanwhile, Peacemaker picks up Victor, very safe one there. Same on the other side as we see a very generic jungle choice in Gragas. A lot of displacement, a lot of tank, really everything you want out of your jungler, if nothing too flashy.
And it feels like they can, with their other pick, they can just kind of go for any role.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, it's interesting that blue side, that TRZ actually valued that Victor so high as to show their middle lane.
Yeah.
Because now that's free to get countered at any point. And in the way this will play out, depending on how the next round goes, well, they're certainly they could take a mid laner in the next round and still get a counter in the top lane as well.
Yeah.
So Snek could actually get their pick of matchups in 2 of the 3 lanes here.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. We saw what happened in the last game, what happens when you can counter-pick a solo lane like that.
Oh, yeah, we saw Riven just ram his head over and over again into the wall against Trundle, and it did not work out. So hopefully we don't... Victor, of course, though, is a... we're talking about getting the counter-pick, but Victor is a very safe, very... I'm not going to say generic, but very good in a lot of roles.
Yeah. He can,
in that sense, generic for the mid lane.
He can play safe in most of his laning matchups, except maybe Zed.
Right.
And he can be fine in almost every lane he plays into.
Right. And he can always pop that shield even against his head. So we see them come in with the bottom lane, though. That's where Team ReZolve chooses to go, picking up the always reliable Thresh, along with some hyper carry damage out of Jinx here for the late game. A lot of damage coming out from them.
They're going to have a lot of power late game with the Victor and Jinx.
We'll blow people up, and we'll see, though. I mean, Caitlyn definitely at least safe. We'll have a little bit of maybe a little pressure in that bottom lane. We get a lot of harassment with Caitlyn, depending on what they decide to go with as their support. Hovering Zyra.
It's been a really popular support recently in the LCS. You got a lot of buffs, a lot of damage up.
Yeah. Very squishy.
The changes in Mastery buffed her mana.
Yeah.
So
they do lock it in.
Solved a lot of the problems. But she also, is 470 HP champion.
Right. If she gets hooked, bad stuff is going to happen.
Yep. Tom Kinch, interesting.
Okay.
Tom Kinch top has been played a couple times in EU.
Top, yeah. So yeah, Zyra's actually really interesting support because when I first started following the competitive scene, Season 2, Season 3, Cloud9 entered LCS and actually sort of revolutionized the league with the sneaky elimination Zyra Ashe bottom lane. So this is a bit of, we've seen Ashe play today, now we're seeing Zyra back in the
throwbacks
role. Yeah. Everything that is old is new again in League of Legends, you can be sure of that.
Maokai Olaf, that's going to give them a huge front line.
They needed a front line, and that's what they got right here.
Yep.
This is a lot of ability to just go.
Yep.
Just go on people. Olaf, then Ragnarok on in, slicing Maelstrom with Maokai, and all of a sudden that's a lot of displacement, that's a lot of walls, or walls in the sense of they have walls between them and their carries.
And they actually pick a Jhin mid.
Okay. That's dangerous.
Has not been in competitive play yet. It's occasionally played in solo queue.
That's dangerous.
It's very susceptible to ganks.
That's what I had to say about that.
He's an extremely powerful lane bully if he can be left alone, but if he gets ganked, he's very easy to kill.
This Snek team they have some squishy champions. They have a Tom Kench. That's great. He can pick him up. Gragas can body slam. He can throw his
I can already
cast
see
down.
that Olaf just flipping on his ult and
Yep.
running through some people.
That's exactly what I expect to happen. Maokai's going to walk up. He's going to stun him. Going to Ragnarok on in, and Jinx and Victor are just going to go to town. And
Their bot
Tom
lane and
Kench-
mid are really going to have to leverage their lane bully
Yeah.
status and their strength in lane and try and get ahead early before this Maokai and Olaf can solo their team.
Absolutely. I think it is a given that there's going to be a lot of kills in this game, one way or another, and there's going to be a lot of damage put out by both teams.
And Jin does decide to keep the Ghost for mid. It's pretty... I mean, it'll help get away from the Olaf, which is
Right.
what you're worried about getting ganked
Right.
from.
It does not necessarily help against the Victor poke in lane. That's going to be the problem for him. He's very susceptible to whether it's the Thresh roaming up, whether it's just Olaf coming in. It's a lot of ways to lock down Jin, Zyra, Caitlyn, and
Yep.
they have some safety. But if this game goes well enough for TRZ to get to that late game, you have this giant tree, this giant Olaf who aren't dying. You can't save your team from that.
The only thing you have is 3 seconds of being safe inside Tom Kench's belly, and
That's
after
right.
that, you're gone.
Right. Tom Kench can only pick up one.
And
of
you
them.
can't DPS when you're in there, so...
That's right. That said, they do have some strong lanes.
If they can get ahead, it won't even be close.
Yeah. Zyra put a lot of pressure down by herself, and pairing it with Caitlyn as well down there. If Zyra's able to land a vine, Caitlyn can probably get a trap down in
Yep.
time to get him there, and just do a lot of damage very quickly. I mean, I think Thresh is as good of a counter as any to that, outside of maybe a Braum or something. But it's going to be dangerous. It's going to be kill pressure across this map, and Jin Victor is going to just be. If the junglers get involved, it's going to be bloody.
Yep.
Yeah, Jin in the middle lane. This is something I know when the champion first came out. It made some waves. What are your thoughts on playing that in that role?
It's very, like you said, scary. It feels great if you can just sit there alone and
Right.
Q spam the other champion and use your broken auto attacks and your ult to just farm
Right.
them. But if anyone ever comes into the lane, you just like immediately die. You just
Right.
fall over.
So it's going to be very important for them to have a lot of wards up, a lot of
Yep.
safety involved. And I mean, Ghost helps to an extent. Helps you get out of those slows, and as long as it's not Maokai or Thresh that are hitting you, you can probably just run away from
Yep.
Olaf, at least for the first 15 minutes of the game.
Really, it's going to be important for that Gragas to help keep wards up around mid to prevent
right.
ganks from happening.
That's right. And Gragas himself does have some gank pressure on Victor if Victor does get aggressive. You know,
Yep.
the counter gank could certainly be very real here.
The root on Jin's W is pretty strong follow-up to Gragas E.
Yeah,
So-
that's for sure.
It's not that hard to gank their lanes either.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And we look at it because obviously Jin is the squishiest of them, and along with Zyra, but could really go either way here. I think this could. I mean, this is a high-risk reward game because if you take those risks and you go aggressive, you will be rewarded for it in this game
Yeah.
if it works. But if you get punished, you're going to
gonna be
get
a bad
punished
time.
very hard.
Yep.
So, I think that means we're going to have a pretty exciting one on our hands.
And I'm interested to see if Jin took Deathfire Touch or Fervor.
Yeah.
A lot of people were trying to move to Deathfire Touch. It was like Deathfire Touch and then back to Fervor when when IE got buffed and they were playing
Right.
that. And then they've shifted back to building the Ghost Blade first, and they've started taking Deathfire Touch again, which is what he did. So he will most likely build Ghost Blade first item.
Right.
The Deathfire with the flat AD, with Jin's passive, you wind up with 600 AD
Yep.
late game, so the Deathfire Touch can burn for 200-300 damage with
gonna
any
do-
hit.
Yeah, it's going to be quite a bit of damage
Yep.
coming out of Echoed Voice, and I've seen Echoed Voice do some pretty strong things in these gold cap tournaments in the past. So,
Yep.
silver account, so very good player, just able to play punch above his weight, so to speak. Seen some very nice plays out of him, showing you their rank is not everything in League of Legends.
Yep.
All right, here we go.
And this is an interesting thing I've been keeping my eye on throughout these.
Yeah.
At the beginning of this, all the junglers, a lot of them, like in our uncapped game, both the junglers started with a refillable potion as their starting item, and in these Plat-Capped games, they're all starting with health pots instead of the refillable potion.
Interesting. Yeah.
So refillable potion gives you a lot more sustain throughout the game, but the extra health pot early sometimes lets you gank earlier, or sustain enough to have enough for a gank after a full clear.
Right, and that's and these games can. I think that speaks to the fact that the higher you go, your priorities change. What matters to you as a jungler.
Yep.
It's like we got the guard on the tri-bush down here. We'll see if anything comes of it. I'm catching up on chat here, Twitch. This should be a good one. It's gonna be a fun game. All of these players, at least on Lansing's side, have experience in tournaments. They've been to their share of these things. Their organization
and they've placed well with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Top 4s, top 2s.
Yeah, absolutely. Good and the bad. I think they only put one team in this tournament. We've seen them have 2 before. Probably the very consistent organization here in Oklahoma. So glad to see him here at Tokyo and Tulsa. Glad to see Team ReZolve TRZ come out and put up a great fight in their last game that we watched, even though they ultimately fell to the defending champs. But so far have acquitted themselves very well. We got fairly standard starts here.
Gragas is actually starting the blue buff.
Yeah, well, bottom side. Starting the blue. What does that mean, though? He's on blue buff. How does that change?
You generally want that Gromp passive, because from smiting the camp, you get a passive that when anything damages you, you return 5% of that damage, which also works on the camp. So the camp start hitting you, you clear the camp faster. And Gromp is also very difficult to kill, so smiting it improves that clear speed a lot.
Right. So
but I think doing this, he's going to go blue buff, wolf camp, red buff, and then try and immediately gank.
Right. Look at Echoed Voice taking a lot of poke there from Leroy in the mid lane as he missed that Jin shot. So we do see Gragas heading over to that red buff. We did Trineki on Maokai up here. He's actually pretty pushed up.
Yep.
Now we'll see as the wave crashes in the tower. He does the smart thing, walks back. Looks like he lays us. Oh my gosh, Echo Boy sees it coming, dodges out.
That's both summoners down though on the Jin.
Right. Ghost and Flash burned. And that means he has to play enormously carefully over the next few minutes. Now the interesting thing is he didn't lay a ward and he's walked right back where he was. If Olaf had stuck around, he might have had a shot to make a play there. Instead, walks over to his blue buff. He'll pick it up. Gragas, on the other hand, is making his way towards the top.
And Tom Kinch has great follow-up on these ganks.
Yeah.
He can slow and then eat him and pull him back farther towards your tower.
Yeah. Gragas patient actually he went over the wall to dodge at the vision. Now Maokai is going in on him. Jackalop's Lamb pops the gray health. He's building it up. It's a lot of damage onto Trineki. He gets eaten by Tom Kinch. And that's fish food. Gragas picks up the kill on Maokai. First blood to Land Snakes.
That was really well played. They synchronized the barrel, let it charge all the way up, and then had the Tom Kinch throw him onto it.
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell that was their plan from the beginning. You called it all the way from that first camp.
Yep.
Took that path. Now Grog is making himself known in the middle lane, though he will be spotted out by a ward, and Leroy will walk back. Wave is pushing for him. Not going to miss too much here. Although, no, actually, this could be a collapse. Uses the body slam and the flash. He has to use the burn. So they able to, despite the fact there were 3 members of Lansink there, TRZ had the drop and forced the flash.
Yep.
Now that we expected something out of this bottom lane, and instead what we've had is a safe lane. Jinx with a farm advantage, but no
That's really
fighting.
surprising, actually. Being able to get a farm advantage as a late game ADC against a Zyra Caitlyn is really impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, nice job doing shields. He's certainly taking the poke to pay the price for it, but I mean, he'll be able to back before too long here with a pretty decent amount of money, I would imagine. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, he's sitting at 1,000 right now. He's wants to last around long enough to get that next item.
He can get the BF sword.
Yeah.
Generally takes about 40 to 45 CS.
Yeah, and Jinx has caught up a little bit. He's cut it to 3, though the wave is here for Jinx, rather. Caitlyn has caught up. So 5 minutes into the game, it is just a scant 400 gold lead. That first blood money over to Lance, saying as Gragas, the jungler, was the beneficiary of that.
Yep.
Jinx does miss that CS. He picks that one up pretty well. Not perfect CSing down here, but actually gets landed on by Zyra. Trades a bit back, but took a lot of damage.
So much damage on it if you can land that Zyra bind.
Yeah. And the thing is, Peacemaker on Olaf up here was in position, but Jinx just took so much damage there from Bad Cop. Gets out of there in time. Yeah. But he took so much damage that Olaf couldn't even make anything happen there. Both of them just back.
Yep.
So opportunity missed because Cop was able to land that Zyra bind for the damage there.
And Jin picks up a call actually instead of an extra longsword to go towards that Ghost Blade. We'll give him a lot stronger. We'll give him a little gold boost later in the game, but it's going to make his laning for now significantly weaker.
Right, and oh, okay, here we go. Jack going fancy, gets the fishy down. Snek tries to when he should be good. Gragas gives up the fight. Flash is burned by both top laners.
Victor just using the ult to poke out here.
Right, that's what I was going to say. It is going to give him that gold boost later. We're talking about the Cole, but he's down 14 CS now. He needs help now. Meanwhile, Olaf has found Doughboy in the jungle. Lands the axe, picks up the axe. He's able to body slam himself away, though. That jungle belongs to Olaf for the moment.
They should be able to invade on these Raptors now.
Especially, when between Leroy poking out Echoed Voice, so he takes quite a bit back right there. Olaf takes the Raptors. Snek down and has the lane push against him, so he won't be able to respond if something were to happen in this middle lane. All right, Jin'Ul comes in. Leroy barely
must
making
have
it
landed
out.
that forced shot onto the Victor there.
Yeah. Leroy hurt, but does get out. Gragas has arrived on the bottom side. Jin gets to shove the wave into the turret. Meanwhile, Jinx still maintaining that CS lead over Caitlyn. 11 so far.
And Tom Kench has actually built up a significant CS lead as well.
He has. Yeah, that 18 up there is pretty relevant. Even though, they're both tanks, there's not that much kill pressure up there, but it's going to make itself apparent, 10, 15 minutes from now. All right, Trueheart having to back up. Thresh not going for the hook.
This
Zyra.
is what I was expecting to see earlier in the lane.
Yeah.
It's just Caitlyn, Zyra zoning them off.
Yeah, just completely zoning with the Zyra plants. All right, 8 minutes in. It's pretty even so far. That bush is warded. It's just a bait. That was actually a pretty nice bait because they know they have Olaf. Olaf getting in there, packs right now. Here comes the teleport though. Nice heal though, but it's still Caitlyn that goes out first. Peacemaker sticking in there. He's trying to finish off Zyra. Zyra flashes out. She survives. Jack is there as well. They pick up Olaf as he tries to get out, but Trueheart has lived through it all. Victor has a great flash, gets a lightning storm down. Zyra falls. Jack is running away. Super Mega Death Rocket finishes him off for Jinx, and the getting excited allows him to get away from Echoed Voice, who's now running for his life on Jin, as it is a 2-for-1 in the favor of TRZ. Just a great follow-up there by Victor, who got to the lane before Jin. Jin not actually out of the woods here at all, because here comes Oblivious. It's just going to go for the suicide. Yeah, all right. Fair enough. I don't know if he was trying to dodge something there.
Part of that.
Yeah. They give it to Victor. Smart move there. Victor 2-0-0 with a 13 CS lead on Echoed Voice.
Yep. This is the dangers of playing Jin mid.
Yeah, he didn't have the roam pressure because he can't run into Victor in the river alone. It won't work out for him. And that meant Victor was the first to that fight in the bottom lane after both teleports were used, and it meant he was able to get a great flash over the wall, picked up the kill on Zyra. That allowed Jinx to get excited, which allowed Jinx to get away with low HP from Jin, which then turns back around into them chasing him to the middle lane, picking up the kill.
Zyra plants.
Zyra,
balance.
the support just soloing out the ADC there.
Yep.
Jinx playing with fire down here, actually. Caitlyn with the ultimate might be able to just, the ace in the hole might just be able to finish him off if he just takes too much. He feels safe because he's got his Thresh here, and he is able to dodge and take the Lantern to safety. So 10.5 minutes in, we've seen things swing around from that first blood. It's 4-2 with TRZ on top. They have 1,000 gold lead, and importantly, we talked about needing to snowball lanes for both teams. It's a 2-0-0 Victor with a lot more farm than Jhin, and it is a 1-0-2 Jinx, who is not behind against Caitlyn.
Those champions are very powerful late game compared to their counterparts. I mean, the late game Victor will literally one-shot the Jhin. You can drop Q and R on him and he'll die.
Right. And meanwhile, the kills, things going from bad news gets worse here if you're Lancing. The kills are on the jungler and the support.
Yep.
Not exactly what you're looking for when you have carries that need to carry. Now they're trying to make a play here on bottom. This is swept out by Thresh. Gragas knows there's a ward there, acting like he's going to recall. He may decide to come on in with the body slam into the bush.
Thresh just immediately rewards.
Yeah. Jinx trades very favorably, not favorably rather, gets traded favorably on by Caitlyn. But here comes the gank. Peacemaker's right. Ragnarok is pop. Nice ultimate there by Zyra. That'll zone him off. They're getting back in. The ultimate by Gragas, not able to knock anyone back. Both sides it's engaged. A lot of spells burned, but no one dies. Yeah, Ragnarok was popped and he went on. His team wasn't quite able to follow him up. But here comes Tahm Kench into the middle. He's going to try to get Leroy. Nice stun, though, by Leroy, but Jhin has a nicer one. Gets spit out. Tries to turn back. Oh, that good voice is going to get him.
Back.
He did. He finished him off. It turns out he can click QRE, kill him now.
Yep.
So...
Zyra
gets hooked. She doesn't have an ultimate. Jinx is throwing the big rockets. She tries to exhaust. Big word. She goes down.
That is the downside of having no HP.
Oblivious blocks the ace in the hole. Lansing had they have such potential, but if things go bad, they go bad for them there. We saw Oblivious land a hook. That means that Zyra goes down. We saw Jhin just, even in a gank, even if something that should have been favorable to them, was able to not stand up to Leroy, and he was able to trade back there. And Leroy 3-1-0 on Victor, 71 to 95 CS
for now. So he has the upgraded ultimate, upgraded W.
Yep. Very, very strong power spike for Victor if you're right now. Meanwhile, Jhin just powering up that coal and has some items. nothing
Still
great.
60 CS away from cashing it out.
Right. Meanwhile, we watch the fight up here on the top lane. Jack is going to eat him. Don't know this is going to be too much. It's a nice bit of damage.
It's what is known as a wet noodle fight.
Yeah. Oh, he wants more, though. He's got the
Maybe
fish.
It's not.
He forces the flashback out of Trineki there. Trineki has to pop the Vengeful Maelstrom to survive. Meanwhile, on the
bottom... That's a thirsty catfish.
That's right.
He wants some kills.
Meanwhile, on the bottom side, we did see the dragon go down as the middle lane gets pressured. Well, 13 and a half, almost 14 minutes in, we've seen the fights, we've seen the damage, and it results in 1,000 gold lead for TRZ trying to bounce back. I'm not sure what happened in their second game. They did lose the opener to
really
United as
game.
one. Yeah, it was. And they're up right now on Landsake, and I think we would agree that they scale better. They have control of the game now, and as long as things don't get out of hand for them in the next 10 to 15 minutes, they should be able, in an ideal world, to close out based on champions. So now Leroy here has used the E, gets body slam, gets knocked up, the W misses, nice flash to try to get away, but he gets ulted right back in. Will Jhin finish it off? Throws down the ultimate. Showtime. He doesn't get him. No, he doesn't get him. He makes it out with a sliver of health, and Peacemaker arrives from the top side, and Jhin is forced to give it up. They don't pick up the kill after so much burn.
He actually did. Victor popped a biscuit there right as the Deathfire touch was killing him to survive.
Yep. Nice work there by Leroy, who has shown himself to be very adept at that mid lane thus far. Now Trueheart's in a lot of trouble. He's going to make it out of Zyra, but I think Ace in the Hole is going to finish him off. Nope, but the flash shot does. If he kept running, he might have made it.
Maybe.
Might have made it. Instead, turned to fire. The Super Mega Death Rocket didn't work.
I think he felt dead, and he didn't. I mean, he was 1 HP after that. I think he thought he
felt dead, wasn't dead. Meanwhile, Oblivious is going to pick off Caitlyn, though. They overstay on it. They pay the price. Top side, Trineki picks up the tower. All right, 15 minutes in. Despite some nice plays for Landsnake and some well-coordinated things, you see the practice coming through. They are behind. Down 2,000 gold, 1,500 gold. Just make sure nothing's going to happen up here. Eventual Maelstrom on for Trineki. He walks away from Jack.
And I'm actually wondering, can Maokai cancel his ult once he's inside Tahm Kench, or is he just forced to burn all his mana away while it does nothing? I don't actually know. I might look that up at the end of this game.
I do not know the answer.
That's an interesting interaction. If chat knows, let me know. I want to know.
This game has been pretty... It certainly lived up to the pregame billing we thought we'd have here. Had a bunch of kills. 1,500 gold lead for TRZ.
This game has just turned into a bloodbath.
Yeah. They have the turrets, they have the dragon. Not a lot of focus on objectives here. A lot of focus on killing each other. Jinx, though, finished. She has the VF sword. She's finished the Hurricane. Caitlyn, same thing on the other side. Just dodges that hook and the peanut as well. That was very close. Meanwhile, Gragas, though, might be looking to make a play on Victor. Instead, we're back to this. Oh, that's a big chunk taken out of Peacemaker, but he packs Ragnarok. He keeps on chasing Jack. He actually short arms the axe there. Picks it up, lands the second one. Forces Doughboy to use the ultimate, but now Victor has arrived. Jin gets the stun, and everyone's able to successfully disengage.
People having fun with laser tag over there.
You can hear in the background there, the laser tag here in Tokyo and Tulsa. There's a lot to do here, and that's a apparently pretty fun one. But that fight, everyone made it out in the jungle, but it looks like it's at least possibly going to turn into a Rift Herald here for TRZ. Doughboy thinking about making a
These
play.
Rift Heralds do a lot of damage. It can be risky.
Let's see, is he going to go for it? He gets the smite.
Steal. And they might try to pick it up, but they are not allowed to pick it up.
Yeah. And now, wow, this is going to be a nice play. They're going to get somebody here. Olaf tries to help. Trineki goes in, turns on the Vengeful Maelstrom. Peacemaker's going to go down. I think he might have been able to walk that one out, but chose not to. I see why. Leroy has arrived, though he gets picked up by Jack Wolfsame. Echoed Voice has arrived as well. Leroy going to have to try to get his burst out before he dies. He doesn't get the opportunity. It's a 2-for-0 right now for Lansing as the mistakes compile for TRZ, and they're going to try to pick up another. Get the knock up on Trineki. He's forced to flash away. Jack flashes to follow, and he picks him up, and they pick it up. Oh my gosh, and on the bottom side, almost another one picked up on Trueheart.
Yeah.
So just like that.
That's all they needed to get back in the game. They've got a gold lead now.
Escalating series of mistakes for TRZ. They don't secure the Rift Herald. Gragas comes against the steal. Look at this, though. Zyra getting hooked into the wall, getting flayed. He's able to avoid tower aggro at least. Nice job to not panic there and survives. But Lansing, all of a sudden, 1,000 gold in the lead.
And the chat did answer my question. Maokai is forced to leave his ult on and burn all his mana away while it does nothing inside of Tahm Kench.
Rather unfortunate.
Yep.
So this tower is going to fall to Lansing as well. And with that, as we hit the 19-minute mark, they all set him a 2,500 gold lead. Just like that, this game swung on a dime as Lansing picked up objectives and kills from the top to the bottom. Jinx tried to predict that there. She might still get this. Puts on the chompers, is critting, gets a shield, picks up Caitlyn. Trueheart, despite his team making some mistakes there, is 3-1-2 and extremely powerful. Yeah. Ooh.
Close.
What's close?
Might get her anyway.
Oh, man. Somebody's getting baited. I just don't know who. It's Cop as Super Mega Death Rocket comes in. Jin trying to pick something up here. Curtain call.
Not exactly sure what he was aiming at there. I think everyone was full HP.
Gragas arrives. Oh, Gragas actually missed everything on that ult and is forced to back up. They have Peacemaker who can turn on Ragnarok to get out of there if he really wants to, and he does to avoid that knockup. They might have been able to turn Nah, probably not. Alright, that was close. Meanwhile, though, while this fight goes on, it was Lansink that pulled back in the lead, took a gold lead, and while they still have a gold lead, they're not as much in the lead. Top lane takes a bit of damage as Snek arrives up there. This is 2 kills pick up. He wants it. He's going in on tall X guy, but he's going to have Tom Kench. This is looking bad for Snek. He's going deep. He's going to get eaten, I think.
He might be able to trade here.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Tom Kench eats the Caitlyn and he W's the minion.
That was close. That was close. I thought Tom was going to just pick up Maokai and kill him very fast. Instead, kind of actually walked the other way, and it was closer than it looked at first. But the greed there by Maokai to stay on that turret, not working out well for him, and he pays for with his life. So the good news right now, if you're Lansink, is that you have a lead.
Yes.
You have a Gragas who's very big, and that means he's going to be very tanky for your team. You're up in gold. That means a lot. However, you're still feeling pretty good if you're on the other side of your TRZ, because you have a 4-1-2 Jinx, a 4-2-0 Victor.
Yeah.
And who cares if your Maokai is 0-3 as long as he tanks for your carries.
It's a Maokai.
Yeah. So they try to force down the mid turret here. Looks like they actually have the drop on it. Will they be able to finish it off? No.
Oh, Zyra did just pick up.
Oh my gosh. Look at that though. The burst goes down, the combo goes down.
He's walking back into it.
Caitlyn.
That thing will explode and kill her.
Caitlyn does not fall, actually burns a bunch of spells, but she's got to get out of it. Meanwhile, this turret just a couple of shots away from going down. Curtain call coming in. Let's see if he finishes it. Leroy takes a couple, dodges that one. The last one looks like it went on Peacemaker, who's able to take the Dark Passage to safety. Both teams disengaging. The Dragon is live there in that pit.
And Zyra actually, as she left base, bought another Aegis.
Yeah.
Gragas already has a locket completed.
Right.
And those passives do not stack.
Actually, I misspoke there. The Dragon was dead. It just wasn't quite updated on our screen, but it's 2 dragons over 2 TRZ. There's a bunch of abilities being used here in the middle lane, but not too much is happening. So that gold lead is down to 500 gold if you're Team Lansink, as we hit 22 minutes of both teams sort of sitting back yet again. Caitlyn farming in the bottom, Maokai farming in the top. Both teams posturing around the jungle trying to get their vision up.
It looks like Victor should have enough for his Rylai's Crystal Scepter soon, which is a big spike for him.
Yeah. Hook lands on Doughboy, and the flash was on the top side. Let's watch this down here, though, as Doughboy's in trouble. Here's Jin trying to do something from afar. It's actually Oblivious who's going to fall down, I think, from this. Still alive. Gets the flay off. They trade Tom for support. Now this is trouble, though. Super Mega Death Rocket whiffs everything, but Victor did not, and he is forcing them out with all of that damage he did in that circle. They pick up the turret. 1 for 1, but turret goes to TRZ.
Yep.
Ooh, True Heart. That was close. That was all in all very close fight. They got split up, and both teams focusing on targets they didn't necessarily want to focus on. The Tom Kench
If
on
that
one
Super
side.
Mega Death Rocket was just, 3 feet down, it might have cleaned up that entire fight.
It's true, it might have picked up a double kill for Jinx there, and they would have got another turret off of that if that had been the case. Possibly even a Baron, depending on where Maokai was at. But that was a big fight for them, and all of a sudden, we're 100 gold difference.
And at this point, Victor, Jinx have more kills on them, more CS.
I mean, Victor and Jinx have as many kills as all of Team Lansink.
Yep.
And that's a pretty good spot if you're those champions. And you saw it there. It looked like, actually, you traded Tom for Thresh, but I thought that maybe Lansink was going to have a better spot there. Jin was in a good spot. They still had their ADC going, but Victor just showed up, threw down the AoE, and that was enough to win the fight. Alright, Dragon's up in a minute.
And Maokai's actually building a ZZ Rot portal next.
The split push is right. We've seen him up in that top lane.
That Raptor Cloak is, I think, what that would go into with the Megatron.
Yeah, it certainly, in this game, it seems like it'd be pretty important. The way this game is playing out right now, having that map, that additional map control it gives you is going to be pretty big. Meanwhile, Jinx critting for 550 damage already.
And now Zyra has bought a needlessly large rod. Did not finish her Aegis item or Frost Queen's claim yet.
If you're going in on Zyra, you're going in on Zyra.
Yep.
They need to kill him.
You just want flat damage, that's what you get.
She looks really caught right here. Ragnarok, he's taking a lot of damage though. Hook lands on Zyra. She's going to get hooked into the wall box. She'll go down. Somehow Trueheart and Peacemaker are still alive. Super Mega Death Rocket picks up Jinx. There's a lot of kills going back and forth, but right now it's a 2-for-1.
And TRZ just getting out of there with
Tom Kinch has arrived with his team. Jinx goes down. Dark Passage gets out one, but Victor's in a very bad spot.
Just get those minions.
This is bad news. Bad news for Leroy. You're right. Get the minions. He's trying. Going fast. He actually did not pick him up there. Gonna go down to the turret. I think it'll go to Gragas.
Yep.
Doughboy picks it up, moves to 5 and
Tom Kinch is actually TPing somewhere.
Oh my gosh, it never ends. Oh, this might have been bad though.
This might not have been the best
I don't
call.
know about this one, man. He throws on the health, picks up Olaf. He's got teammates. He's trying to make it to him.
He is not dying.
Does not have flash, and he is just living forever. And it's at. Oh, but here comes the return teleport from Maokai.
The 5-minute team fight continues.
That's another fun team fight. The Dark Passage and the hook. Is he going to go down? He's still alive, and the shield pops on him, and now Treneki's going to fall. He's going to go down. It's Zyra who picks it up. Nobody wants to die. Everybody wants to fight.
Tom Kinch is unkillable.
They pick up the dragon off of it. In theory, they at least get it started. This has been a never-ending team fight for the past 10 minutes here.
It's still going. They're about to go in on it again.
All right, Zyra has been hooked. She has been flayed. Jinx is surely going to pick this. You got to shoot, man. There you go. Jinx picks it up after trying to cancel the auto a few times. 13-13.
Yep.
1,000 gold lead. First dragon of the game over to Land Snake.
Yep. It's hard to recap everything that just happened because there's about 4 team fights in a row.
This is
with teleports in between.
Starship Troopers, man. Everyone fights, no one quits. All right, 27 minutes in.
Just recap, see what's happening now and what the scores are, because I'm not really even sure anymore.
I think the most important thing.
Gold's still even, I guess.
The gold. Let's look at who has the kills. I think that's all that matters here. Victor 6-3-1, Jinx 6-4, 6-2-4. Meanwhile, on their counterparts, Caitlyn 1-4-4, Jin 2-2-6.
It's like Gragas is trying to carry the team.
Well, Tom is very tanky. Gragas is very tanky. We're gonna need to see some,
some sort of penetration item. But Jinx did just buy a Lord Dominic's for that armor.
Yep. It's exactly what they need now. Here we go again. Maokai trying to get away. No one gets away from. Oh my gosh, this is bad news for Zyra. The team wasn't ready for it. They're in different spots. They don't know where they're at. We got to follow this fight on the top lane as they pick up Tall X Guy. Now down here though, Zyra made it out. Super Mega Deathrock is a double kill for Jinx. She's excited. Zyra is slowed. Will Zyra make it out? No. Victor comes in. Olaf picks it up. Goes Jin. And just like that, a game that was razor close is going to be a Baron.
The jungler is still up. It's a possibility that he can try and steal.
And sure, we have seen one steal already. Trueheart's tanking. I don't think that's what they want.
Thresh may just try and zone here.
Yeah, Thresh is going to do his best to zone. I think if you're Doughboy, you got to try to be a hero, though. Baron all the way down to 3,000 already. Nice hook. Now, what are they going to do? Look at this.
Just keeping him away from the pit.
They did not have the focus they needed there, but they do get away with it. Yep. They had a couple members trying to zone him off, but other people still damaging the Baron before he died. Usually you'll see teams, you either commit to the Baron, and one person zones him, in that case Thresh, or you just kill him and then finish off the Baron. Instead, they had that split focus and opened themselves up to a steal.
That's generally when the throws happen.
That's right.
They got away with it that time.
Yeah. Playing with fire, they get away with it. This entire game's playing with fire. 18-13. TRZ.
More than 1 kill per minute. The prediction of the bloodbath is coming true.
Oh man. 30 minutes in nearly. 18-13. It has ballooned up to a 4,000 gold lead, and almost all of that gold is on Victor and Jinx.
Thresh actually having a really great game here too. Has 15 kill participation out of the 18.
That's right. Yeah. Give Oblivious some support. We actually questioned his Janna pick in that game we watched earlier where they very narrowly lost, but his Thresh has been on point. Narrowly misses that hook there. Now we do see Maokai finishing that ZZ Rock portal, sticking it up in the top lane, near where the creeps meet at the beginning of the game. So they're going to have pressure in that top lane at almost all points as they try to crack this turret in the middle.
And I think where he has put that ZZ Rock portal, they're actually going to expire about right before the tower every time.
Yeah, they're not going to make it to the tower.
But it will push out the minion waves very quickly.
They're going to hold the wave there. And the thing is, it's far enough back that it's a real risk for the red side to go try to take it down. Yeah. Meanwhile, though, we've got another fight threatening to break out. Tom taking some damage, giving some damage back on his own. Thresh is waiting to make a play, and he gets one on Doughboy. Doughboy's taking a lot of damage. He's just going to go down immediately. Jinx takes it. She gets excited. Zyra has burned her ult. The tower has fallen. It's a 5 versus 4. Jinx still going in right there, doing all kinds of damage. So is Victor, trying to finish it off. Tom
This
Kinch.
is the power of the Victor once he's finished the Rylai's Lichbane.
Yeah.
Perfect hex core. It's so strong.
Yeah. Tom Kinch picks up his ADC, gets them to safety, but they're down some key ultimates. They don't have Zyra ult. They don't have a Gragas at all. And remember, Gragas has 5 of their kills, but they are going to get Leroy. Curtain call goes up. I don't think he was even needed. Tom Kinch has arrived. He's going to try to get Trueheart, who is kiting very well.
Spreading him with that last whisper now.
Yeah, the gray health goes down. He picks it up. Way too aggressive by the fish there. And looks like an inhibitor will fall. First shot of the game going to TRZ as they're up to a 7,000 gold lead now. They want more. Oh, they want to split up with Jinx in the back. This is not what they wanted right here. They barely have to burn the flash to get out of the barrel by Gragas. And now Zyra going low, Gragas going low. They're on the tower in the mid lane. They still have those Baron minions.
Yep.
Desperate defense here by Landsnake. They've got a lot of damage going in, but they're just taking so much from Jinx.
Now is the time to just leave if you're TRZ.
Yeah, you're right.
Regroup, shop.
Yeah.
Maybe get this top tower on the way out.
Yeah, it's absolutely right.
But they don't want to fight again at this much HP.
Yeah, because Jack just respawned. His ultimate's up in 20. He would be able to cut them off, but they're going to stay anyways. Oblivious gets a hook on that good voice. He gets saved by Tom Kinch. Ragnarok is popped. Jinx is in. She's trying to do what she can. There's a lot of damage going down. Choppers go down, but on the backside, while they die at the tower, Jinx is getting a lot of damage down, but I don't know if she's going to be able to finish this off. She gets snared. She's going to fall. It is not the ace. It's just Leroy left. He picks one back up on Gragas, but now Jack is on him.
And this is a 4-for-1 so far.
You are absolutely correct. They needed to get out of there. They wanted one more turret. It didn't work. Leroy, I don't think anyone makes it. It's just a nice play to try to go for Bad Cop. Not able to finish it off there. It's an ace for Landsnake. You said they needed to leave. They did not listen, and they died. They went back to the fountain, just not in the way that they would have liked. They're going to pay their, watch their ZZ
That's the
Rock
nightmare of
portal go
solo
away.
queue. You
Yeah.
have the Baron, you have the inhibitors, and then all you want to do is back.
Yeah,
and it just doesn't happen.
They had to be sitting, I mentioned they had a 7,000 gold lead there, but they were sitting on all that gold.
Yep.
They did not spend it.
They had 3 towers and 4 kills worth of gold on them, so
Yep.
like 4,000 gold worth of unspent items.
As soon as Tom Kinch respawned, they needed to be out of there, if not before. They pay the price, and all of a sudden, they were in a commanding position, and it's not like they're obviously still very far ahead, but that's just how you open that door just a little bit for Landsnake to try to get back in the game.
Yep.
Now we might have Maokai is on the top side. He does have teleport up. They're working on this dragon. It's got a lot of HP though. Jinx is not there, but all of Landsnake outside of Tom Kinch is walking that way.
And they do have they are actually clearing the D-ports. Maokai won't be able to TP.
This is dangerous. Victor is not with the team. They're able to get the smite, but will they make it out? Oh, they might want teleport canceled by Maokai. So no teleport for Maokai. Tom Kinch does have his up, as well as the Abyssal Voyage. So,
And did Jinx go back and buy from Vamp Scepter to a full BT?
yeah. Jinx is
Very
huge,
strong. Yes.
huge right now. All they want to do is get a fight. Now they're doing a good job right here. They're collapsing on the source of the teleport. They know they don't have teleport advantage. No, just misses the hook right there. Oh, this is bad. Peacemaker gets a Pak Ragnarok. He takes a lot of damage in the back line. They did not get the... Jinx is taking uses the BT shield there to take the...
It's really confusing to me when Caitlyn uses Peacemaker on Peacemaker. I have no idea what's happening.
Peace was made.
Yeah.
Alright, Jack might be in a little bit of trouble. Sapling goes down. He gets hooked, though. He's so taking. It's exactly what you want if you are Land Snake, and that's why you see Snek having to run away. Now here, Jinx and Victor, they're in the fight. They're trying to finish off Jack. They will do it. Jinx is excited after this. Victor picks it up. Caitlyn is not doing much in this fight as his team retreats into their base. Sapling comes down. Curtain call popped by Jin. Great job by Maokai here, taking everything he can. The curtain call does not do much. Jinx is sitting at full HP, plus a shield, plus his easy route portal, plus a wave. This is going to be a very tough defense right here for Lansing, who also have a wave crashing into their Nexus turrets.
And Jinx can just continue to use that sustain from the Bloodthirster to stay here and keep sieging down this turret until
And
it's gone.
you see the turret goes down. The inhibitor likely to follow. Top inhibitor falls as well as
and
the middle one goes. This is where it gets very difficult. If you're Lansing, you need to take this fight right away while there's still some people hurt. Try to catch somebody. You will not survive waiting all of this, including the ZZ Raw portal, crashing into your next.
This is where you need 3 or 4 miracle team fights in a row.
Yeah. And it looks like TRZ might have learned from their previous mistake here. They're backing up. They're not quite...
They can go for that Baron. It has respawned.
Yeah, they're not going for the base. Echoed Voice gets caught, forced to flash away, actually. Peacemaker still taking... Hook missed by Oblivious. Here comes Tom Kent. She's right in the middle of the fray. This is a good spot for Jinx, though. She has a wall in front of her. She got knocked into the team, but she is doing a lot of damage, but she was right in the middle of the team. But she's just healing so much. Jack is trying to finish him off. Isn't able to make it. Double kill for Caitlyn, though, on the backside. This is not over yet. Leroy trying to pick up. Caitlyn is able to do so as the beam takes her down. Jinx is alive. Leroy is alive on Victor.
HP again.
Yeah. He was so close to dying. It was a nice Gragas hold to put him in the middle of the team. Was able to finish him off. Now, curtain call might be their opportunity. First one misses. Second one misses. Third one hits. Fourth one misses. Full health Jinx. Very bad news, and you know what? Those plans die very fast when your Jinx has a Runon's Hurricane. She's on to the Nexus turrets. Does not get popped up. Makes the Zyra flash away. Is able to pick up Echoed Voice with one huge crit. Bad Cop will die.
Goodness gracious. That Gragas spawn just got trolled.
Yeah, she was going to make it out. Gragas spawn gets a Super Mega Death Rocket at target. Splash damage. Finish him off. That was a wild game. 49 kills in
just
37
close the
minutes.
entire game and then breakout fight in the Baron. And
11-3, 13. Trueheart on Jinx, and he kited so well in that last fight.
And over 100 CS advantage on the Caitlyn.
Yeah. To be fair, that was even for most of the game, right? It was in that late game.
Yeah.
But that was a wild game. It was a bloodbath. I hope we get a few more of those this weekend, but maybe a break for now. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm Corbin Hosler. This is Jared Cole. We're here at Tokyo in Tulsa. We'll be back with another game in a few minutes.